Hello, 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 Anya Keister here, and it is time for a video that I have been eagerly awaiting and also super apprehensive about, and that is the pumpkin food taste test compilation. Sure, let's go with that. Basically, I'm going to try out a slew of different pumpkin flavored foods that come out in the fall season. In order to prepare for this, I am wearing my sharp little orange pumpkin cardigan, I'm wearing some orange glitter on my eyes. I have the Sugar Pill pumpkin spice liquid lipstick on, and we're good to go. I'll probably light some pumpkin scented candles as well for atmosphere. A thing to note is that I'm vegan, so I haven't even ever had the seminal Starbucks pumpkin spice latte PSLs. So I do not have a gauge of comparison, but what I am going to do is I'm going to rate these foods on a scale of 1 to 5 for deliciousness and 1 to 5 on how pumpkin-y they actually are. Without further ado, let's start doing this pumpkin thing. So let's start out with two items that I bought that I actually can't taste test because they both include honey, and I'm a vegan that doesn't eat honey, but let's talk about them anyway real quick. So the first one was the Trader Joe's pumpkin butter. I grew up in an area of Pennsylvania where pumpkin and apple butter are really, really prevalent, and I'm really, really sad I can't eat this. I love a good pumpkin butter. This one I'm going to assume is probably a little bit sweeter because it does include sugar. A lot of the ones I grew up with, we didn't include sugar. And also including honey is the Trader Joe's Fall Harvest Salsa. This one does have pumpkin in it. Both of these have pumpkin in them. I bet they're very pumpkin-y. I just unfortunately will not be eating them, but I can eat these. These are some Trader Joe's pumpkin tortillas. We got pumpkin puree and pumpkin seed cornmeal in the ingredients. They also include cinnamon, so I'm gonna guess they're like a sweeter tortilla chip. Okay. Here's the thing to note about these. Tastes like a tortilla chip for like the first 6 seconds of eating them. And then, there's a lot of pumpkin flavor aftertaste. I think the cinnamon is coming out, which I think is where we're actually getting the pumpkin from. So on a scale of deliciousness, I'm going to put these a solid 4. Because they're good. They taste like tortilla chips, but a little bit extra. They're not super salty, which I'm bummed about. I like a salty chip. But the after pumpkin taste is definitely pretty strong with these. So on a scale of 1 to 5 pumpkins, I'm going to put it at 3. I'm going to put it at a 3. We're starting early. 3 out of 5 pumpkins in regards to the taste. So next up we have 2 different cereals. The first one is the Trader Joe Pumpkin O's. Now these do have pumpkin in the ingredients, as well as cinnamon, brown sugar, some other stuff. So I've already pre-filled some little cups here. So I have to ration this. I have to eat a lot of food. Okay. This is very pumpkin-y. I'm impressed. For you ASMR people. Oh, let's try this out. Okay. On a scale of deliciousness, I'm giving this a 5. 5. This is very good. Very cinnamony. The taste flavor is good. I can taste pumpkin, so I'm going to call it pumpkin spice with an actual pumpkin spice. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 pumpkins in regards to how much it tastes like pumpkin. But this is very good. This is very good. So now let's do the other one. I hunted places to try to find this, but I did get the limited edition Life cereal pumpkin spice. This does not have any actual pumpkin in the ingredients. So so dry. Woo! That carries a lot of spice. This is definitely a pumpkin spice one. Let's see. Okay. On a scale of deliciousness, I'm gonna give this one also a 5 out of 5. Both cereals, 5 out of 5s. In regards to how pumpkin-y it is, I don't get any flavor of pumpkin. I get this pumpkin spice. And it definitely does actually taste like a thing that you would know as pumpkin spice. So I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 3 pumpkins, just because it does actually taste like the general concept of what you're ordering, though it doesn't really taste at all like pumpkins. So next up we have 2 ones that require some hot water. We have Trader Joe's pumpkin pecan, whatever you want to call it, oatmeal. Let's look. Are there pumpkins in the ingredients? Dried pumpkin. Yes, so let's go ahead and I didn't cut it far enough. It smells pumpkin-y. Okay. The ingredients for this one actually say to microwave it, but I prefer a hot pour for my oatmeal. And second is the Trader Joe's pumpkin spice herbal blend tea. This is again in focus. There we go. I opened this last night because I was excited. The taste is strong. I appreciate the orange aesthetic. These tea bags are wild. Look at this. Look at this little tea bag. How cute is this? Ooh. So we're gonna go ahead and start this. I'm putting it in my Montauk Point Lighthouse mug, which is the most like autumnal mug that I have considering the color scheme. Everything else is like pastels. So let's let this tea steep for a bit. It smells very tea and not super pumpkin-y. While we are letting these things go, let's do 2 other ones. Neither of these are actually pumpkin, but they had pumpkins on the cover, so I thought it'd be fun. This is the Trader Joe's candy corn popcorn. Is there any pumpkin in it? No. Let's try it anyway. Oh, it's very cute. Let me grab a few pieces so you can see. Candy corn. Something traditionally not vegan. But this is... Oh, it's... The colors are done with beet and amaretto. How natural. So as we can see, they decided to go with this cute kind of color. It's really hard to get vegan candy corn, so I'm actually very excited if this tastes good. It's very sugary. I wish it was drawing in a little bit more of the popcorn butter. But I get that it's like a candy corn. It's a kettle corn. I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5 on deliciousness, just because it's a little too sweet for me personally, but if you're like, I love candy corn, give me all that candy corn, nom nom candy corn, you're gonna like this. 0 out of 5 pumpkins. There's no pumpkin flavor here. Some more false advertising. This is cotton candy swirls, great for parties. This is cotton candy. It contains caramel flavored cotton candy, but we're putting a pumpkin on the bag. False advertising, guys. What color do you think it's gonna be? Do you think it's gonna be orange? I'm hoping it's orange. It's not. It's plain white. Boring. It's got a little bit of an orange feel to it. It's been so long since I've had cotton candy. It's very caramely. I'm actually super impressed with how much it doesn't taste like regular cotton candy, but how much it tastes like caramel. I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 5 when it comes to deliciousness. This is great. I do not want to eat any more of it though, because I have so much more stuff to eat, and this is just pure sugar. Okay, so at this point, I think our oatmeal is getting pretty close to done. So let's try this once again. This is the Trader Joe's Pecan Pumpkin that does have actual pumpkin in it. Trader Joe's is doing pretty good on the actual pumpkin in their stuff. So let's try this out. Oh, that is incredibly pumpkin-y. And we get a little spoonful with some pecans in it. This is more pumpkin than pumpkin spice. I'm actually very impressed with this. I'm gonna put this as I'm gonna say a 4 because I'm being kind to it. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 on deliciousness. I think it's just because it's low sugar and I just ate cotton candy. So this feels a lot more like natural. This is getting a 5 out of 5 when it comes to pumpkin flavor. I know a 5 should like be a pumpkin probably, but I'm being generous here and saying that this has a lot of pumpkin flavor. And it's the pumpkin flavor of like actual pumpkin, like a gourd pumpkin versus a pumpkin spice. Okay, now for the tea. So here's the thing about me. I never liked tea growing up. Now that I live in Colorado where it's a lot colder and I need to drink a lot more fluids because it's so arid because of the temperature and stuff like that, or I get headaches, I have just become a tea fiend. I am just drinking all the teas all the time. I learned to like them. I'm still drinking herbal teas. I'm still not at a point where I really like actual tea leaves. Let's try this one out. Well, first let's look to see if it has pumpkin in it. Red Bush Herbal Blend, natural pumpkin flavor, cinnamon, nutmeg, and cloves. Natural pumpkin flavor. Once again, it's a little hard because I just ate some very sugary stuff, and this is not a not sweet tea at all. I'm gonna give this, for deliciousness, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5 because it's tea. I mean, I've definitely had some very delicious teas. And this one is a little run-of-the-mill for me. I think it's really heavy on the clove, which isn't necessarily a taste that I personally enjoy. And I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5 on the pumpkin rating because this is not really pumpkin-y at all, in my opinion. You know what this needs? Maybe this needs some creamer. Tea was not my fave, but I have the Trader Joe's pumpkin spice almond beverage here. Yay, vegan pumpkin foods. This includes, let's see, we got almonds, sugar, pumpkin puree, third ingredient, golden delicious pumpkin puree at that. Ooh. I have a little cup here. I have my frother. Let's create a little tea latte here. It's getting really frothy. I don't think you can see in there. Okay. Beautiful. Before we get to that, let's try it on its own. So once again, similar to the oatmeal, the pumpkin is really strong with this. So it had a pumpkin puree. Like, you can definitely taste the pumpkin in this. Now, whether or not it's delicious, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. I don't know if I would drink this on its own, but I would definitely drink this as like a creamer for a coffee or a tea. But it's exceptionally pumpkin-y. Did they put clove in this? Nutmeg. Yes. The nutmeg is very strong with this. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 delicious on a scale of pumpkin. I'm going to be kind once again and not say that 5 is a pumpkin, but something that definitely tastes like pumpkin. And I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5 pumpkins because you can smell the pumpkin and you can really taste the pumpkin. Let's see what it did to the tea. So you can see it's got this beautiful little foam on top. I will say it complements the tea really well. This almond beverage does have some sugar in it. So I think it's what I needed as a person who's not a big fan of teas to enjoy this tea. So see, this is the thing I would drink in the mornings. I realized before I make these, I should show the canister. These are the Trader Joe's pumpkin rolls. It's basically just a version of their cinnamon roll, but it's a pumpkin roll. Let's look at the ingredients. Do we have pumpkin in here? We do. We have some dried pumpkin, and that is in the dough. Let's look at the spice icing. Also has pumpkin puree in it. So much sugar. Guys, I'm eating so much sugar. This is why I was a little apprehensive about this. We're going to power through it. Okay, I'm going to make these. I'm going to prepare the other thing, and then we're going to finish this up. So a thing I realized is that a lot of the pumpkin flavored foods are all breakfast. We've had like teas and like a milk and cereals, and we're about to have like a cinnamon roll. And the next one up is, let's see if we can get this. This is Dave's Killer Bread. Ooh, I got a cat. Hello. Okay. Dave's Killer Bread Pumpkin Spice Madness Bagels. So this is like a company where they put a lot of protein into their breads. 11 grams of protein per bread. You know, if you're getting jacked. Again, I mean, I guess if you're vegan, you want to make sure that you're getting your protein too. This does have pumpkin in it, I'm going to say. Yes, some organic pumpkin is in here, as well as cinnamon and nutmeg and all those other ones. I've toasted it. I'm going to do it plain so I can more authentically taste this bagel. Okay. On a scale of deliciousness, it's a pretty plain bagel, considering it's supposed to have like maple flavor and all these other spices in it. So I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5 on deliciousness. And then on pumpkin, I don't taste any at all. I mean, there's something, compared to like the candy corn popcorn, is something. I'm going to give this a 1 out of 5 pumpkin. There's just really no, there's like a slight smell, but I really don't taste anything that tastes like pumpkin to me, compared to how pumpkin-y some of the other stuff was. Okay, now we are here for the final taste test. This is the Trader Joe's pumpkin roll. I have made it. Ooh, gorgeous, pretty. If you're not familiar with this kind of idea, it's 5 rolls that are already pre-made, seasoned, all the fillings in there. You take them out, you bake them for 18 to 20 minutes, and then there's a little icing packet that you can put on top. So you can put as much as you want or as little as you want. Since I've had a lot of sugar today, I tried to go a little bit less. My plan is that I'm going to keep these extra pumpkin icing packets, and I'm going to use them to make icing for a cake later. So you can have a little pumpkin flavored cake. You know, thrifty. That's the Anya Keister way. Anyway, so let's try this one. So if you remember correctly, this did have pumpkin in the dough, which you can actually kind of see when you start to unwrap it. You can see there's like little orange flecks in it, which I'm going to guess is maybe like some pumpkin stuff. And then the icing was just like your pumpkin spices. So let's try. I will give the full disclosure and say that when these come out every season, we buy like 8 of them because they're accidentally vegan. And it's great to be able to have cinnamon rolls or pumpkin rolls whenever you want. So I've actually been eating these for quite a few weeks. But for this taste test, I wanted to have a nice fresh one for you all. So I'm going to say on a scale of deliciousness, I'm going to give these a 4 out of 5, purely because I wish that they had a little bit more richness to them. I wish they had a little bit more of a buttery feel. It's just like a really sweet dough, kind of, even when you don't use a lot of the icing packet. It still just comes off as very sweet. In regards to the pumpkin, there's an aftertaste where you get that pumpkin spice flavoring. And I would say that these taste a little bit heartier than your average just cinnamon roll. There definitely is a little bit of like, you know, a pumpkin gourd taste to them. So I'm going to give these a 3 out. I can get there. We got this. I'm going to give these a 3 out of 5 pumpkins. Just because there is some flavor there, and the pumpkin spice flavor is definitely there in the icing. But it's not an overwhelming taste of pumpkin like the oatmeal was. But yeah, good. So I'm going to finish this, and then let's go to the end. Okay, so that's it for me. Like I said, this is slightly limited because I'm vegan, so there's only so much I can eat. What I have learned is that the fall flavor of pumpkin varies from some that are just really cinnamon, nutmeg, and clove to things that just straight up taste like pumpkin puree. And it's interesting. I think it's nice that you do have a wide range of different foods and flavors you can get during the holiday season. I'm a big sucker for fall flavored things, as it's my favorite season. So I enjoyed it. I'm a little sad that so much of this, except for the chips, were like fall into the breakfast category. I wish there was more pumpkin stuff in the, I mean, granted I couldn't eat the salsa, but I wish there was more pumpkin stuff. I think it's unfortunate that in American culture we really tie the pumpkin to desserts and breakfasts, which a lot of American breakfast is just like a dessert. There's so many good Latin American recipes that call for pumpkin, and you get the thing where it's like pumpkin can also be a squash, and it all falls into kind of like a similar category. But there's so many delicious things that you can do with it that I think it's sad that we relegate the pumpkin to breakfast and desserts. My pitch for you, if you've made it to the end of this video and watched me endure high amounts of sugar and pumpkin flavoring, is try some pumpkin in your other meals. Cube it up and put it in a saute. Put it in a stew, pumpkin stew. There's a delicious pumpkin lentil soup recipe out there on cheapeats.com that is so good. Take the pumpkin out of your desserts and your breakfasts and try it in some place new. There's a cat behind me, so I think it's time for me to go up. So that is going to be Anya Keister signing off on this very pumpkin-y flavored video. You have a good one, and cheers to you and yours. Bye. I need to go eat some vegetables. Oh, I even have pumpkin nails. I even have pumpkin nails.